So hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to see some interview questions related to AWS, some basic questions interviewer asked while taking AWS interview. If you want to learn about AWS cloud and DevOps related information you want, then please subscribe. So this one is a part one. In this part one, we are going to see some 10 questions related to AWS. In that, first one is what is AWS? The commonly asked question in AWS. Amazon Web Services, popularly known as AWS, is a cloud computing platform. Like AWS, there are other platforms like Azure, Microsoft Azure, and GCP, Alibaba, lots more. Among that, AWS is a popular cloud provider. Now, AWS provides a wide range of services including storage, computing, networking, databases, and other services. AWS offers a flexible, scalable, and reliable platform to business and individual. We can use this cloud service as a personal use also, as a business use also. Now this is AWS console, basic console. When you log in into your console, these all are AWS services we get. AWS provides flexibility while using these all compute, containers, containerized application, database related application. It provides flexibility and scalability while using AWS cloud. Now, what are the different types of EC2 instances in AWS? Amazon EC2 is a Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud instances are virtual machines that can run application on AWS cloud. Means what? Using AWS cloud, this service EC2 service, we can create one or more servers. Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud EC2 instances are virtual machines that can run application on AWS cloud. Means what? Using EC2 service, we can create a server on AWS cloud. The different types of instances come with different CPU, memory, network configurations to cater to various workloads. Using these instances, we can create a server with our requirements, like we can select our CPU size, memory size, our network configuration. We can change our network configuration. We can create our network configuration with this EC2 instance. But the most important point, what are the different types of EC2 instance, is it provides the following actions like compute optimize, memory optimize, accelerated computing, storage computing, general purpose. Means what? In that we can decide what type of size we want while creating a server. When we talk about different types of EC2 instance, in that, see, different types and different plans, different spot instance request available, instance types are available. Let's see into AWS console. Initially we have to create one instance by using these options. Here we have any server, any type of server we can create. Here we get machine, database related option, network related options, and configuration related options. We can configure our storage as per our requirement. We can increase our storage, we can decrease our storage with this general purpose, provision iOS, SSD, like that. Lots more options available in AWS EC2 instance. It is scalable, reliable, and secure. Now the next question is, what is S3? Simple storage service, also commonly known as S3. It is actually object storage service. Means what? This is a bucket, S3 bucket. In that we put our objects. We can put file or a folders like any content, any information we want in our web application or in our project. It allows individuals and businesses to store, retrieve data from anywhere on the web. After including our data information into S3 bucket, we can use this information in our web application. Why S3 is important and what is the benefit of using S3? Simple storage service. At a low cost, we get durability, availability, and scalability. So S3 bucket is one more reliable and useful service in AWS cloud. This one is a S3 bucket. In that we can give any name and create our bucket, any size, and we upload our data here. We can create our bucket with any name, with some permissions, with some access. Easily we can create here our S3 bucket. Like this video, and still you are watching this video, please like this video, and don't forget to watch other AWS related videos what I created in AWS playlist. More data into S3 bucket when we want, and we can scale down our data when we want. Like this, it is scalable. What is auto scaling? Auto scaling is the most important part in the AWS cloud. Every interviewer asks this question to the AWS candidate. Auto scaling with elastic load balancing is very important part in AWS. Let's see auto scaling. What is auto scaling? Auto scaling is an AWS service that allow users to automatically scale resources up or down based on demand. Means what? Whenever we want to scale up our resources, we can scale up, and when we want to scale down our resources, we can scale down. The most important part is cost optimization. For that, we are using auto scaling. It ensures that the user's application always has the desired number of Amazon EC2 instances to handle the load. Means what? We can increase our resources or decrease our resources. Here is another part in auto scaling is horizontal auto scaling and vertical auto scaling. In vertical scaling, we increase our resources within the same server. In horizontal scaling, we increase our servers horizontally. This is the difference between vertical and horizontal scaling. Use our auto scaling load balancing type of service in AWS like this auto scaling. In that auto scaling group, it has a minimum and maximum capacity we decide, and we can increase our ability to storage, provide service, configuration, maximum size, minimum size. We can vary according to our requirements, along with how much traffic we are getting from network from outward to our web application. These all are benefits of auto scaling, cost management, availability, fault tolerance. These are benefits of auto scaling. We can scale up and scale down as per our requirement. This is the most important and usable part in AWS cloud. Now the next, what is VPC? See, VPC is related to networking, and this one is also important question asked by interviewer because this is the network related point. A virtual private cloud VPC is an isolated section of the AWS cloud where user can launch AWS resources in a network. Means what? It is a isolated means it's like a private network initially created which is isolated from outward network. No one can enter without permission into that network, that is VPC, which is isolated. After that, the most important point is it enables control over the virtual networking environment, including selection of IP addresses ranges, subnet, route tables, and network gateways. Lots more things are in VPC, which are very important. Now, what is IP address range? We can select our IP address range while configuring our network. Subnet is the most important part while doing private and public subnet creation. As we discussed, VPC is isolated cloud resource in AWS. It's very important while creating any network into AWS, and we have in that it is actually included into AWS region. We can set our virtual private cloud isolated network. In that we have NAT gateway subnet between VPC to VPC. Also, we can create a connection. It is a VPC peering route table option available internet gateway. Like that, we can create here our own VPC in single click. We can create our VPC subnet in route table in our network. Here is the IP range. We can select our IP range as per our convenient. How much IPs we want in our network, we can select, we can create and share with our web application. Along with our web application availability zones, we can select NAT gateway, we can select into VPC. Lots of user friendly options available in AWS cloud while creating VPC, and it's very easy to create on AWS console. Now the next question is CloudFormation. Amazon CloudFormation is IaaC service in AWS, that is infrastructure as code. IaaC is infrastructure as code, which is also important service in AWS. The service that allow user to create and manage AWS infrastructure as code means creating infrastructure using code. It is a text format, we can say code created in a file or in a JSON file or a YAML file written in that file. According to that, our CloudFormation service work into our network, into our infrastructure, and it will be created. It enables user to describe and provision the resources needed for their applications in a declarative template. This declarative template is in JSON format or maybe in a YAML format. And in this diagram, we can see we created a JSON or a YAML file, and using CloudFormation, our resources are handled. Our infrastructure is created. Now the next most commonly used question is what is Lambda? Normally interviewer asks what is Lambda or describe Lambda. Amazon Lambda is a serverless computing service that allow user to run code without provisioning or managing server. User can use Lambda function to run code in response to changes to data in an S3 or as a part of a larger application. When user want to take some actions into infrastructure, they put their code into S3 bucket. With the help of S3 bucket, Lambda function do their functionality and infrastructure work according to that. Now the next question is what is DynamoDB? So DynamoDB is fully managed NoSQL database service that delivers reliable performance to low latency queries. And DynamoDB offers a fast, persistent, key value data store with built-in support for replication, auto scaling, encryption address, and on-demand backup among other features. DynamoDB very helpful while doing lots of activities into server on the server, while we have to change something into our infrastructure, or we can say we have to put something new into our infrastructure. It is highly performance database that is designed to handle large amount of data at any scale. Means it is very useful while handling web applications with high traffic. After that, the next question is what is Amazon CloudFront? This one is a very important service in AWS Cloud. Amazon CloudFront is a content delivery network service that distributes your website or application to servers around the world. It helps to deliver our content to end user with low latency and high data transfer. CloudFront, Amazon CloudFront, and content delivery network. In this diagram, we can see in between there is a CDN, content delivery network is helpful while large amount of traffic handling required into any web application. On the left hand, we have services, and the right hand, we have client. On the left side, consider we have content or a data information like video, audio, text, images, etc. We want to transmit that information with low latency to the client end, which is on the mobile phone, desktop, or on a PC, a personal PC or a laptop. CDN is very useful while doing this type of task. That's why we are using CloudFront with CDN. What is the difference between RDS and DynamoDB? Both the Amazon RDS and DynamoDB are related to database. Amazon RDS Relational Database Service is a managed database service that allows user to run relational database on AWS Cloud. And DynamoDB is a NoSQL database service that delivers reliable performance on low latency queries. In part 2, we are going to see some AWS related interview questions. These questions are related to cloud architect or a cloud engineer, cloud related job, or a DevOps related job. This knowledge is required while doing cloud related job or a DevOps related job. I hope you like this video, share this video, and subscribe this channel for more cloud and DevOps related videos.